Hello, welcome to the first episode in the series on how to make a 2D Minecraft style game using C Sharp and Visual Studio Code. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to set up Visual Studio Code and everything that you need to get started. So, before we start, if you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can go to this website right here, code.visualstudio.com, and download for Windows, and then it'll give you this program here. Now, once you have Visual Studio Code, the next thing you're going to want to do is open it, and I've already created a folder here, but if you need to create a folder, you can go to File and Open Folder, and then you can create a new folder through that window, name it 2D Minecraft Tutorial, and then open that folder. And the next thing we're going to want to do is go down to this here. This says extensions. And we're going to click on this search up here and search for C Sharp. And we're going to download the C Sharp Dev Kit from Microsoft. Now, once that's installed, and that'll only take a couple of minutes, you can also go and download something called Visual Nougat. This is a package manager for C Sharp. This is going to allow you to install the extra packages that you will need for this tutorial. And right here you can see this is downloading the .NET runtime. Let's open this up. All right. And let's go back here and check. Whoops. Alright, so that's installed here. It might take a little bit more or less time to install depending on the internet connection. But now we can click up here at this thing at the top, and this little arrow here, the greater than symbol, you can press that, and then we're going to click Install New .NET SDK and install that. And then once that's installed, we will be able to go and create a new project file. So let's wait for that to install here. This should also only take a minute. And occasionally, once it installs, you might need to restart VS Code in order for the changes to actually take place. Otherwise, it might show an error message when you try to start up a new .NET project. All right. Installation of the .NET SDK succeeded. So what we're going to try to do first is, let's type in this .NET new project here. And then we're going to scroll down until we find this that says console app and click on that. And then you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this 2D Minecraft tutorial. And click default directory and .sln and create project. Now this all should show up on the left side under this window that says Explorer. And we can click on this program.cs, and this little arrow up here says Run project associated with this file. We can test it out and see if it runs. If it doesn't run, you might need to restart VS Code. However, for me, this is run, and it showed Hello World. If you are new to programming, this Hello World is a default message that most people usually make the program say when they're first getting started with coding. And C# projects usually have a hello world like this right at the beginning when it first starts up. This is to show that the program is working. And I will explain a couple of these things here. This is the system console. And up here you can see this is a class. Represents the standard input, output, and error streams for console applications. And this dot right here is, if I were to type console and then this dot, this is going to pull up all of the things that the console is able to do. Like, for example, if I clicked beep right here, and then you have to put these parentheses after it, you press this run button, it should make a beeping sound. Well, I guess for me it didn't do that. But that's essentially how it works. You would type in the name of the class that you want, in this case console, this dot, and then the function that was used here is writeLine, which writes the specified string value followed by the current line terminator to the standard output stream. This is the output right here. And this, you can see the format for how it's done, the parentheses here, and this string value is telling you that it wants something like this. Like, we can go in here and change this to 2D Minecraft tutorial. Press run, and it says 2D Minecraft tutorial here. Alright. So now that we've got our project set up, the next thing we can do is type this arrow here again, and we're going to type in NuGet, N-U-G-E-T, and we're going to click the visual NuGet at the bottom, and then click our project name, and it'll open up this window. Now what we're going to need to do is search for something called Raylib, and get Raylib CS. Then after you get Raylib, we're also going to get another thing which is called .NET Noise. That's this first one at the top. And that is going to be used to actually get something, get terrain generation, like how Minecraft has all these hills and valleys and stuff like that. That's going to be what's going to be used for that. And to finally finish up the initial setup, we are going to open a Raylib window. We're going to do the word using Raylib, and it's this Raylib CS. And at the very end, you have to do the semicolon here. And again, for anyone that's unfamiliar with code, if you don't have that, then it has this red line right here, and if you hover your mouse over it, it says this semicolon expected, so we can put that there. Next, we will do Raylib init window, and you can see up here, this has a width, a height, and a title, and right now the width is highlighted blue. This is an integer, and an integer is a number that does not have decimal places, so we can just say for a default width and height, we're going to do 500, and then we'll copy this format here. We'll have that comma there, and then the height is highlighted blue, so we'll do 500 for the height, another comma, and then for the title, Raylib also supports a string title, so we can do My 2D Minecraft. And then we'll save that. And then we'll try to run it. But what's going to happen is the window's going to appear for a second, and then it's going to disappear. What we need for that is something that's called an infinite loop. So we will type in while, and this true here. And what that does is this will just keep going over and over again. To show you what I mean by that, I can do console right line and infinite loop in here. We'll press this button to run it. And you can see it keeps saying infinite loop over and over down here. However, right now we can't actually close this. So what you need to do is go over here, make this bigger down here, and next to the 2D Minecraft tutorial.exe, press this trash can button that says kill or delete, and that'll end the process. What we want to do in order to actually make it so that we can close the window is we're going to change this true. We're going to type in Raylib right here, a dot, and then window should close equals false. And then right here we'll type in Raylib dot poll input events. And this right here, the window should close, checks if the escape key is pressed or the close icon is pressed. And this one registers all input events. We can press this button here again to run it, and now your window is open, and we can press this X to close it. Now the last thing we're going to do is make it so that we can actually change the size of the window. Raylib, and this is going to be up here in front of the init window. And I'm going to start typing in flags. Here it is, set config flags. The parentheses. And then we're going to click on the one that says resizable window. And make sure you put the semicolon at the end. And then we'll run this. And now you have a resizable window. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this first episode. In the next episode, we are going to get some squares and stuff drawing on the screen. That's going to be a simple setup for what we'll do later with the 2D Minecraft. And we're going to use the keyboard to move one of the squares around on the screen. So that's going to be it for now. I will see you in the next episode.